Hold up, my brother. Don't hide your hands. Don't move too fast. You see, I'm young, black, and handsome. White people get scared when they can't see my hands, son. So I'm gonna keep them up in the air and pray to the Lord they ain't mad. Cause they never give a, they're in my life in a flash. What? Why am I scared of a man with a badge? Annihilation of the color rape, is their plan. The government know that they're trying to kill us, but instead of putting my life in their grasp, they want to give me life for letting my color revolver blast, you see. That ain't the thing. White father teaching white kids never give me a fighting chance. Never try to romance, but remember, there's power in white fams, youngin'. Even in the times of slaves, they never wanted me to want change. They use whips, dogs, chains to prevent me from seeing things. Damn. And so for the people who listen, they're still on that plantation, forever stuck in their chains. And for ones who escaped, they didn't stand a chance because it's easy to beat if he can't raise his hands. Thank you. That was horrible.
And welcome to the Roundtable Talk. My name is Lamaya Perlina.
I'm Anthony Peterson.
And I'm Tatiana Battle.
And this is the second season, second episode, and we're so happy, elated to be with you guys once again on this Tuesday afternoon. So what's been going on?
I
Why are you laughing
like
at
the
me?
poems because that was a long introduction. Thought it was going to be a little bit shorter. I was going to say something. My mouth was just open. It was good. It's like it makes me think, and it kind of like looking at the camera when the show first started, it's a little bit tough.
Right.
When you get time to just think and reflect on Fresh.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Well, that poet's name was Fresh. Shout out to him. Thank you so much for coming on our show today. So what's been going on with y'all today? This week?
I mean,
it's only Tuesday. Not too much.
It is Tuesday, but so far this week, I'm really looking forward to the remainder of the week. We only have I think 1 week left in February.
Ooh,
so
it's only 28 days.
After that, we got midterms and then spring break, and then you look up and the semester is flying. Like February is a very short month, so I mean.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the rest of this week and the remainder of this month. What about y'all?
Well, I've been just looking at my classes and praying the Lord to help me through it. But there was a town hall meeting yesterday.
Oh, yes. We need to talk about that. The town hall meeting. Oh, my. When I lay my head down at night, I say my prayers, and PV is always in those prayers. There's been some controversy in that town hall meeting. There was a lot of disagreements going on, a lot of questions unanswered. So basically, Anthony, you have some insight on this too. There's a housing issue for upperclassmen.
That's per usual.
Yeah, what do you have to say about this issue? Has it happened before? This is my second year, so I'm not sure if this has happened before.
Well, my freshman year, I paid. I don't know if I didn't pay at all. I don't think I paid to get my room the next for sophomore year. I know for junior year I paid close to $300. I didn't pay none of this. My mama did.
None of it. Okay.
So that makes it a little bit more on that other end.
Right.
But now they want $650.
$650.
And I guess I won't say what I heard because it wasn't from somebody that wasn't true, but $650 is a lot of money compared to some people don't have to pay.
Right.
And I want to say one time I didn't have to pay. I know if you have all your bills paid and you don't have a fee, you don't have to do the registration.
If you have because I'm out of state, and I remember my freshman year, I had to pay housing or something like that. But I had a scholarship also, and I also remember them saying if you had a negative balance, that you didn't have to pay anything. Like your fees would be deferred. That was my freshman year in 2014. Wow. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't stay on campus. I haven't stayed on campus since my sophomore year. So there's always been trouble with housing, and the PV has literally been on the news for housing twice this year. So, I mean, that's that. But in other news, we got Jesse Smollett, if I'm not saying his name correctly, Jesse Smollett or Jesse Smollett. Chicago investigators have now just said that investigation has changed, and they're thinking that
publicity stunt.
Yeah, publicity stunt, because he's allegedly getting written off of Empire, and that he has staged this whole thing. And then Cardi B was saying, like, you know, this is giving Trump an immunity to to laugh at us, basically, for the oppression that we're going through.
Of gay people, black people.
You know.
It's honestly, the timing of this incident with Jesse Smollett, I'm not sure if I'm saying it correct. It's honestly sad because right now we're already going through some very corrupt politics going on right now, like things, controversy going on right now, and then for this to happen, it definitely does give Trump the leverage to laugh at us.
I don't say it just gives him just immunity to
it
laugh
definitely
at
does.
us. Maybe it do, but when people do stuff like that, that's not because he's black. People is making it a big deal.
Yeah,
right.
And that's
true.
kind of the double-edged sword. When we use black for good, sometimes you gotta use it for bad. Like, it's not happening because he's black necessarily. He's a celebrity and only makes money probably by his career.
Exactly.
So once this stuff happens, it's just bad all the way around.
Overall.
It don't matter if it's white or black. It happens more everywhere else, but you just don't hear about it.
Very
but
true.
After so long, we can't just play that card.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you.
But I mean, overall, it's a jacked up situation, just the way he did it.
Do you believe
overall.
that it actually happened, or do you guys think that it didn't? Do you think it was a stunt?
I really need to hear from him
Right.
that it was. Everything in the media is so corrupt.
Yeah, the stories get twisted.
The industry is so corrupt.
Very.
You don't really know what's going on, because people say that Chicago PD is racist.
Right.
I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the North. I'm literally in Minnesota. Illinois is right by us, and I've seen people get framed. Not in this extent, but I just need to know. I need to know the truth from him.
I would like to hear a statement from him too. Yeah,
Yes,
it would clear up a lot, because all these twisted stories have everyone thinking so many things.
Much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, we are going to bring you guys some exclusive insights from a PV man here on being black, surviving black, and living black. Right after this break, this is the PV Roundtable Talk.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Prairie View At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
Prairie View A&M University is about the students. Students don't just come here for the education. They come for the faculty, for the creativity, the camaraderie, an excellent standard of living, and the school spirit. They come here to gain something profound and to give something back. Students come for the tradition of excellence. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
And we're back with the Roundtable Talk. See, now we have a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Malcolm Garcia. Some may know me as Malcolm G. I'm a senior psychology major, and I'm also the president of Vibes.
Oh, okay.
Get into vibes,
Get
y'all.
into that.
Me and Malcolm was building mates in building 45.
Oh, so y'all know each other. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malcolm and I were radio hosts, co-hosts.
Dang, I had a
Small
year-long little thing.
I'm
But
sorry. I'm sorry, Anthony.
let's go and get into
I'm gonna
it.
stop doing that. I need to stop doing that.
No, it's all right.
Well, okay, so we brought you on the show today, Malcolm, because me and Anthony and I know that you're really intellectual. Tati, he is a very intellectual person, a man.
Okay.
And I knew once we were going to do a show about being black, surviving black, and living black, in regards to the Steve Harvey and Monique episode where they were going back and forth about integrity over money. Everybody knows what happened to Monique. She got blackballed, and she feels like none of her peers stuck up for her.
Right.
As a black woman, as a black man, as a black people, no one stood up for Monique and said, you know what, this is not okay. And her thing was, we can't keep playing the game for the white people. And Steve Harvey called it the money game.
Right.
He said, I can't stick up for you or have my integrity and not feed my family. So how do you feel about that?
It's a tricky situation when you think about it, right? So we have, as black people, we have these situations that either unite us or divide us, right? So we have to realize that there was a foundation set for that, right? So I like to bring it back to the beginning of time, slavery, right? So that was around the time America wanted to create its economy and this and that, right? So that's start of business. Now we're inside the business with segregation.
Yeah.
And that was very problematic because we're adopting their issues as well, right? So then we have to live within their system with us not having no power. That creates a habit of racism, right? So now with us not having power, we have to abide by certain rules within their system. So with us not speaking out like Monique is doing, we're allowing that to continue. And I hate to switch the subject, but that's also an issue within the housing part. The aspect of it on campus is bad business. They even admitted it, you know what I mean? But that's the problem when we try to adopt other societies' ways of that, created that culture. We're trying to put it on us, but we don't have the same nature as they do. You know what I mean? We don't run the same. So you can't have those same laws and policies regulating another culture when they don't even relate to you. You know what I mean? So we don't have no position of power. So it's like a flip side to it. So you can understand both perspectives, but there's only one right and one wrong, right? Steve Harvey should be black first and then rich second. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And he's not. So.
Wow. Did you hear that, Anthony?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree to some extent.
Okay.
To some extent. Just in my eyes, from what I've seen. I won't say that I haven't seen some of the things he's done necessarily, but he's done stuff like Family Feud and stuff like that. The things that he says outside of his entertainment, that's his own personal business. And I feel like his own personal business is just himself. He don't affiliate himself with us.
That's an issue.
That's an issue.
That's an issue. How do you feel about that too? Because okay, it's just like, I hate to bring this up, but surviving R. Kelly. I've had this conversation with my mother and my aunties, and because they're that generation, they said, I keep asking them, can you separate a person from their art? Steve Harvey's a comedian, but can you separate him and his views from his comedy? How can you still support a man who doesn't want to stick up for black people or doesn't want to have integrity for our race, but still can watch their stuff? How do you feel about
Steve Harvey is the prime example of why black women don't trust black men to lead. You know what I mean? Because when they have issues, we try to make excuses for why they're being put off while we're still in a position of being put up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that right there is basically the blueprint of what's the issue within our community, because our black women are speaking, but we're refusing to listen. You know what I mean? So that's the issue I feel we're seeing within the two.
Play the devil's advocate. How do y'all feel about Monique?
Just real quick, a quick thought going back to the first conversation. I'm sorry, Anthony. Do you guys remember kind of briefly what the Atlanta Compromise with W.E.B. Du Bois, kind of? So I'm just gonna kind of sum it up. So basically, when he gave that speech, he was saying, overall, let's play the white man's game so then we can succeed, you know, further create a platform for our future, you know, people behind us. So I feel as if Steve Harvey, yes, he might be sacrificing his integrity for money, but in a way, like the way he's not standing up for Monique, I feel as if he's playing that same game. Like it's all about success, and as soon as you get to that level of success, okay, now I'll stand up for you because now I have some pull, I have some more power. You see
And
what I mean?
I agree to a certain only to a certain
Okay.
extent because you can't do anything if you don't have a platform. And I feel like
Right.
Steve Harvey do have a platform, and
And
I
he
like
had a
I really do like comedy, and
Right.
when I watch comedy to this day, I don't watch anybody new. I only watch people like him, Bernie
Kings of
Mac, and
comedy.
stuff like that. And he seems like in his heart he's black. But that's just I don't know, and it's because it's just so touchy because I feel like I know the guy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us do that.
Have a connection.
We have a connection with him, and maybe I might have to just let that connection go.
Right.
But
I was, all right, so all skin folk ain't kinfolk, right?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Right.
but it becomes a problem when he doesn't address the basics. There's basics to everything, but we're so caught up on the bigger issue, we don't see where it starts at. You know what I mean? And that's
Okay.
the situation that we're in. You're talking about him having a platform. All right, so we talk about how this generation is different from the past. But what I can say is the generational leaders back in the past, they used their platform as soon as they were able to get it to be able to shift the narrative, right?
They
Because-
I believe part of that is because they didn't have social media. And what happened 50, 60 years ago, it was nationwide. And
Yeah.
somebody from Washington couldn't speak to somebody from Florida, to somebody in Florida. And we got the power to do that. Like back then, it was like straight from the heart.
Right.
Like you couldn't do nothing if it wasn't from the heart.
Now we have
like
societal
now you just
influences.
got everything. It's like you got this, but it come with this.
Yeah.
But this come with this and this, and everything is connected to everything. And I feel like in order for us to actually get somewhere, it can't be on a camera. It can't just be televised. We don't know.
We
In
don't know
every
the
other
conversation
country,
they
in a
have
lot of
after the
countries,
show.
you know what goes on in the military, for instance.
Okay.
Like in North Korea, they're not worried about what could go on because they see it on the big screen out there all the time. We know nothing about America. When stuff really get bad, God forbid, we don't have a clue what would happen.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have a clue what would happen. And that's kind of like how we do. We don't know anything. We don't come together. We have to come together and then like infiltrate out. And it can't be televised.
Right.
All right, I'm confused where your point is going.
It's
Because you said you kind of get it, but then you said social media
Like,
played a point.
it's like we show so much to everybody. Like I don't feel like other races show so much to everybody.
You talking about we as black people?
We don't copy anybody's we don't copy anybody's style. So everything that we do, it's already unique, but everybody gets to see that we put so much on
We
it.
put so
We
much
put
out
so
there.
much on the internet, and now not only we don't do it. And we don't do it to make a profit from it, because we
We do it for
relate
Yeah.
it, and that's not even necessarily a bad thing, because this is stuff we all know and understand to us, but everybody else sees it and we can make a profit off of this.
So we have this social media platform. If we can get one message across the world, who's going to start doing it? Who's going to say, you know what, this is enough? Because I support Monique. Yes, we may see her as a difficult, or they may see her as
Yeah.
a difficult, angry black woman, but I'm an angry black woman too then, because I have attitude.
We
and I
all
have
angry.
integrity.
We all angry.
And there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with being passionate about your brand, your talent, and your skills. Now, it's a problem where everyone around you that looks like you was saying, you know what, no, Monique, we can't deal with you because the white man said you're difficult. Or we can't deal with you because the gatekeeper said you're difficult. If we have this platform, and Monique tried to use her platform, and we shunned her, who's gonna say, this is enough? This is a black woman trying to make a difference, trying to get her voice heard. Who's going to be the someone to say, this is enough, let's make a difference. Because that was her whole point of going on the Steve Harvey show and say, who's going to help me? Who's going to stick up for me? Who's going to back me? And Steve Harvey did it. He said, we're going to agree to disagree. And Monique said she has to learn, as a black woman, to agree to disagree. She needs help. Black people need to start backing up each other.
Publicly,
and stop being afraid to lose your money. Colin Kaepernick was not afraid to lose his money. He has not been in work. He has not been on the field. And how long? Because he's making a difference. And yes, they're using him. Nike used him kind of to play this little trick, which we'll talk about on a different show. But somebody, I say all the time, we're not afraid to die for it anymore.
Oh.
We're not afraid. I mean, we are afraid, like, to lose everything.
And just to touch on Monique, because again, like, I like comedy a lot. And Monique did a lot of the same things like Steve Harvey and them did. Like, they said a lot of the same things. But Monique, because she was a woman, she did go a little bit. She went a little harder. I heard some of the things she said, and it was loud.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm just not her fault. And I feel like it's more society's fault. It's like the things that she said today, she couldn't say them. She couldn't say them today. I feel like that's probably part of the reason why. Like, I know a lot of the things Steve Harvey said, and that's probably the issue. It is a woman thing. I probably should redact my whole issue now that I'm talking about it. But it's like, Steve Harvey, he a man. He was gonna get more pull. They get more pull a lot of the time, anyways.
Right.
So it's like, for him to not say much, it probably don't take a lot out of it.
But who's to say the discussion behind the camera didn't happen, where he was like, you know, I had to say this because I have to do this show and I have to say what my audience wants to hear, or I'll lose viewers. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't want to say it because I don't. Outside of what I see, I can't put no input in.
Right.
But I would hope that didn't happen.
Earlier they highlighted basically one of the issues. Black people in America are the #1 source of entertainment. Anything we do, we impact something. You know what I mean? Culture, sports, music, hip hop is #1. Who would have thought that? You know what I mean? Like back in the day. So we're #1 source of entertainment. So also we need to go to see who controls the narrative, because we don't have black resources within these panels that discuss what's happening within our community. We allow white resources in, which means they have a form of manipulation that they can put out, and as a trusted source, people believe it. It creates the narration between why when you describe a black person, it's more harsh. The words that you use. Words mean everything, right? When you do it to white people, the words are more innocent, more gentle. When you do it for black people, that's also sending the difference in narration between color. So that also plays a part between our subconscious, which makes us feel the way we feel, right? So I had a friend yesterday at the townhomes meeting. She said that it was ghetto. And I asked her, why did she feel like it was ghetto? She said because people kept moving. And I wondered if she would have felt that way if it was all white people. Right? Why would you use that term? That's an issue. And the way we
white
speak,
people would have went nuts in there.
if the way we speak, it also reflects how we feel about ourselves, right? So that's an issue within us, because we've been taught that issue. So now we need to realize we need to divide ourselves from this system
and re-educate our people.
Thank you.
Re-educate our people, and that's going to be so hard, because for so long, for decades, for centuries, we have been brainwashed. Whether we know it or not, we're getting brainwashed right now with these little things in our hands to hate ourselves, to hate our skin, like, and it's. Go ahead, Malcolm.
I know. I want to hear what you got to say.
That's another reason why I created Vibes, right? This is an issue, right? So the problem has always been, why talk about it and we're not doing nothing in this generation, right?
Solutions.
So Vibes, what I want to do is create a platform where we discuss everything that's going on, but we don't highlight. So you won't find no camera in a Vibes meeting, because what happens in Vibes stays in Vibes, right? Yeah. So when we talk about it, then we realize, okay, how do we get out of the situation? Then we implement a program or some type of function. That way we can move. This is how we should move. But what we don't do is tell the enemy our strategy. And what we've done is started to become comfortable with telling the enemy our strategy. That way they ahead of us before we get there. You know what I mean? So we need to stop doing that as well.
Wow. Wow. So Because we can't tell. Nah,
Okay.
I can't even
We
say
need to just
anything
get
after
a
that.
get in podcast mode.
I know.
Nah, I gotta go to work. We can't get in podcast
Okay,
mode.
okay, no. Okay. What's one thing, Malcolm, that you feel, taking all of what we said today, what's a solution, without telling the enemy our strategy, what can students of the HBCU do now to start implementing this change within ourselves, because we have the next generation to come up into the world? So what can we do?
We invest in the family. You know what I mean? Like, we're big on supporting. You know what I mean? Like, if I see him doing good, I'm going to promote his business.
Good.
If I see you doing good, I'm going to promote your business.
Yeah.
If I see you doing good, I'm going to promote you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would hope the same in return. So I feel like we need to invest in ourselves, love ourselves, find pride in ourselves, and then we can reflect. You know what I mean? So I feel like it starts within that.
Well, we hate to stop this conversation, you guys, but we have to go to break. This is the Roundtable Talk here at Prairie View, and we will be right back.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
We back with the Roundtable Talk. We had a nice little discussion.
An amazing
Nice little heat.
discussion. I feel restored. I feel woke. I just feel Happy Black History Month for one.
Get your
For
bottle.
one.
Happy Black History
Happy
Month,
Black
you
History
guys.
Month.
I
Happy
really
Black History Month.
really felt the passion just
I did.
flow through this room. And
Yeah.
Malcolm G, thank you so much for coming on the show. You guys will definitely see him following a couple more episodes to come. We want to keep having these little intellectual conversations while we're conversing with each other. But right now it's Anthony.
Y'all know what time it is.
It's Snap of the Week.
I love that.
Snap of the week.
Okay, Anthony, go ahead.
Okay.
At birth, a human has.
Start over.
It's supposed to be a comma right here. At birth, a human has 350 bones, but only 206 when full grown.
Wow, how many bones do you got?
Well, I guess a 206.
Mine says Andrew Jackson was once given a 1,400-pound cheese wheel as a gift, which he served at his outgoing president's reception.
That's law.
That's pretty
Free
cool.
cheese.
Sip to that.
Wow.
Oh, that's what we should have waited for.
Oh, well, yeah,
What's
you.
that?
Oh, well, mine says if a sheep and a goat mate, the offspring is called, wait for it, a geep. I said, wow, this is so interesting. Thank you.
I got a real question.
What?
You asked Malcolm, what's the solution? Before we go, what's the solution? What do we all think is the solution?
That's a good
great
question.
question.
I honestly think that's a solution. You mean like for our getting out of oppression, and we kind of oppress ourselves, I feel. And Dr. Tonisha Taylor, one of my professors, said to me, racism does not exist unless we allow it to.
Yes.
So we have to stop allowing ourselves to be oppressed. We have to stop. I mean, we could be woke, but on Instagram, I see a lot of people saying the white people did this or the white man is doing this. Well, what are we doing? So I think that we need to put a halt to giving so much light to the oppression and stop allowing the racism to happen to us and start saying, you know what? Instead of perming my hair, I'm going to start wearing natural. Now, I wear weave. I'm just saying, I'm still working on myself, but just, stop allowing myself to feel oppressed. Stop allowing myself to feel like I'm being targeted as a black person.
I feel like we should stop fighting each other. Like all these other cultural groups and ethnic groups, they have generational wealth. And why do they have generational wealth? Because they invest in one another instead of, wow, I don't like her because she's doing well and I'm not going to talk to her. Why are we fighting each other?
Yeah.
We are all one. Let's just act like that so we can continue to build this tongue twister, generational wealth. You see what I mean? Like, we just need to, like Malcolm said, invest in ourselves.
Yes.
And I personally feel like we have to do both of those before we can actually move out and just make change. And the biggest difference between then and now is that they did it consistently. Like, they went out consistently. We only go out when things get real bad.
Right.
And I feel like once we can just get out there and just let our voice be heard all the time, that's how you get stuff done any other time.
Very true.
When you want something done, you go get on your mama's nerves until she say yeah.
I have one more thing. Dr. Taylor, I really love Dr. Taylor.
She's amazing.
But Dr. Taylor also said that stop shunning out the black people who don't act like us. Black is such a broad term. It's such, and just acting one way doesn't mean you're black. So if one person expresses how they're black in this way, we don't have to shame them.
And you know what's crazy?
What?
Everybody that's to be taking our style, how many black people is there really out there? Black people.
I say if your skin is melanated, gold, brown, black, blue, purple,
red,
you black. But this is the Round Table Talk, y'all, and this is the second episode. We'll see you guys next week here, same place, same time. We'll see y'all later.